perfect scene from rural England, with all of the attendant facilities, where the restful calm is only ever broken by the thwack of leather on willow, the twittering of the birds. Oh, and I almost forgot the alcohol-burning 300-mile-an-hour, 5,000 horsepower race cars, because this is Poddington, the home of British drag racing. Who do you think invented drag racing? Well, it's the Americans, isn't it? I mean, it was never going to be the Swiss now, was it? Back in the 50s, cars like this 32 Coupe with its big-inch V8 engine would race from stoplight to stoplight on a Saturday night for fun or money or both. And that is how drag racing began. But drag racing really took off when it migrated to the disused airfields abandoned all over California after the war. Although some people insist that the first quarter-mile drag race was held in 1936 along Blackpool Prom. But today, drag racing is as American as the Nude Olympics. It's the third biggest motorsport in America. 50,000 is an average gate at the Pomona Strip near Los Angeles. Like IndyCar and NASCAR, drag racing has never really been big outside America. But like the other two, it's very TV-friendly. Long periods of inactivity punctuated by frantic action. Top Fuel Drag Racing is the premier series. Don't call them cars. These are supercharged nitromethane-burning, tarmac-melting missiles.
This car had to run in the fastest time in Europe, 5.11 seconds, and 281 miles per hour actually. And in terms to go from 0 to 100 miles per hour in 1 second, 1 to 1.2 seconds.
This is the world final of Top Fuel Drag Racing, although for their purposes, the world is that bit of the planet which lies outside of the 50 states of the Union. Oh, and there are no Brits competing. The finalists are all from Scandinavia, with one exception. Predictably, there's a German. What's in this bit?
What's in between, yeah. There's a lot of air in between, but there's also the fuel tank in the front that holds about 20 gallons of fuel that you're going to...
How much of that would you use in the course of a run?
Well, you probably use about 15 of it. Well, the steering wheel is actually just something to grab on and hold the car straight. You don't want to steer with it very much. That's the handbrake, because you have both feet just for, you know, pedal and the clutch pedal and the accelerator pedal. So you have these two levers here for the parachutes. The handbrake is just working to the rear tires. Right. But you got to have to use the parachutes first, because you won't be able to brake the car down from 400 kilometers per hour with just normal disc brakes.
But how many speeds does the car have?
It has only one gear only.
Just one
it's
gear?
One gear only, and it's going to be like within 1/10 of a second. It's going to reach top speed.
This isn't a modified engine at all, is it? This is a purpose-built drag racing
It is
engine.
built off a Chrysler Hemi configuration, but everything in it is kind of modified and tuned. It's kind of producing between 4,500 and 5,000 horsepower, depending on how high you set the mixture on the nitromethane.
5,000 horsepower. Even at this level, drag racing is a very straightforward business. First, you need to warm those giant Goodyear tyres by deliberately spinning them in a mixture of foul-smelling bleach and water. Then the duellists line up behind the light stand that's always been called the Christmas tree. Within a second of launch, you've cracked the ton and the rear tyres have grown. Drag racers call it getting up on the tyres. This needs to happen very fast for a good run, but you don't want it to happen too quickly, because the car will then lose traction and start to spin its tyres. That's called going up in smoke. Now watch this tyre. See it lift? That's a bad run, and all of that smoke lets everyone else know that you got it wrong. Women have always competed at the very highest level in drag racing. Strength and endurance mean nothing in an event that takes around 5 seconds. And once a car's on the start line, it's all down to reaction times.
Vivica Avested has been racing for 7 years. Plenty of time for her to perfect the drag racer's most important skill. Well, no one's perfect.
I didn't look at the lights. I look at my hands. I don't care about the car because it's worrying me more what happened with me on the starting line because it's the first time and it's crazy. My reaction time was over 1 second.
If you wait for the green light, you've lost. You need to anticipate it, which is how top racers record unbelievable reaction times. The top fuelers are a rare sight in this country. You may only ever see them once, but I guarantee you'll never forget them.
Top fuel racing isn't just something you can see and hear. You can smell it, you can taste it, and you can bloody well...
You're not considered to be